Welcome back to the Oxendine Law Podcast. Jarrod Oxendine and Christine Palmer here, and we're diving into a new topic, something that's not talked about a lot, but is something that's out there a lot now, and that is your divorce later in life. Divorce after 50, also known as gray divorce. So whether it's your empty nesting years, whether it's just years of unresolved issues that you've kind of stuffed under the pillow, and then you get older and you're like, you know what, I've had enough. I see my mortality. I'm not living this way anymore. Or let's just say you need to redefine your new life season. This episode is going to cover everything that you need to know if you're facing divorce later in life. Christine, are you seeing more of these type of cases?
Yes, I'm going to start by opening with I don't know who termed the term gray divorce. It was probably like the Wall Street Journal, New York Post. Someone did an article, golden divorce. That's what we're talking about.
Oh.
Gray divorce sounds ugly and boring, negative connotation.
And gray divorce wouldn't work like if you have a shaved bald head like me because you can't really see the gray.
That's it.
Although it is in the beard.
Golden divorce. Right. We're looking at enjoying your golden years. You've worked, you've raised kids, whatever you've done, you have a whole life to show for it. And now is the time to be enjoying it. So do not let anything stop you from that. Whether it is the marriage that you're in, if it's something else that's bothering you, right? It's your time to shine, your time to enjoy. And I think a lot of people just sort of feel stuck in some way because time has gone by. So for my term, golden divorces, this is all about enjoying your golden years.
I love how you've redefined that. That is so much better than gray divorce.
Isn't it?
And I'll tell you why I think maybe we're seeing more of these cases after 50, and it's just a change of social norms. And I know I mention that all the time, but it's just true, right? I mean, back in the day, people made the commitment to stay married, and they honored those vows, you know, for better or for worse.
And most of it was worse.
Yeah, a lot of it was worse.
Yeah.
If people were sticking through it.
Yeah.
And you would have people that are staying in bad marriages for the kids, or because they made the bond, or because their word means something, or maybe they're just traditional.
What my friends think.
Yes, all of that. But now you're seeing people that are waking up, and they have, for better or for worse, they have adjusted with society, and they're like, you know what? I'm not putting up with this anymore. I have put up with this situation, in this miserable household, in this miserable marriage. I've done my duty. I've got my kids out of the house. They're on their own. They've got their own families, and I'm stuck here with this person that I just frankly don't like anymore, to put it nicely.
Right.
And they're deciding they want to move forward with their new life and take advantage of what they've got left.
Yeah, personally, one of my first gray divorces from, 15 or so years ago, I thought it was the cutest story. And I asked her, what inspired you to file for divorce now? And she said, my daughter just got divorced. And so she told me how she'd always stayed together for the kids. She's like, my granddaughter's fine. And I saw it, and it's like, wait a minute. So the whole reason of what it was, her daughter kind of took that away from her. And she saw her daughter living her best life, and where she told me to my face, I wish I'd done it when I was her age. But we can't go back in time. So why not do that now? So I thought it was really cute that it is sort of this, we stay together for the kids. And then if you see your kids getting divorced, it's like, wait a minute, so they can do it and I can't? What's that about? So yeah, I thought that was really cool.
But it is miserable, man. I've seen a lot of our clients, and they'll tell us, it's just this household is just cold.
Yeah.
Like, it's us, it's me, and it's her.
Yeah.
And we're just like ships passing in the night. We sleep in separate bedrooms. Like, when we're in the same room together, like, she's on one chair or the opposite end of the couch, or I'm on the other, and we're just not interacting.
He's reading a book. He's watching TV.
Something that ties into this discussion, Christine, I actually was watching a new Netflix series. It's called 4 Seasons.
Yeah.
And Steve Carell is one of the main actors. Remember Steve Carell from Office Space, I believe?
The Office.
The Office.
Yes.
The Office. Office Space is another classic movie.
Yeah, way better than The Office.
Yes. But The Office.
Office Space.
And so basically you have these couples, and every year they take a couples trip, and they're like lifelong friends. And Steve Carell, he is over 50 in the show, and his kids are out of the house, and he just can't stand his wife anymore. And there's this scene where they're laying in the bed, like, he wants to have sex. She doesn't, because all she does is lay in the bed every night and play Scrabble, like on her iPad or her phone. And it just drives him nuts.
Uh-huh.
And so he actually decides that he's going to get a divorce.
Right.
And he tells his friends in advance, he's like, you know what? It's like right after their 25th anniversary. He's like, we just put to bed 25 years of marriage last night, and that's going to be the end of this. I just cannot stand her anymore. I still love her as a person, but we have nothing in common.
Right.
She's boring. We don't have the same interest. And I've got to enjoy my life
Yeah.
while I can. And then long story short, he ends up, now this is stereotypical. This was made for this series. I'm not
Of
telling
course.
everybody to do this. He divorces her. And of course, he gets a woman that's like 20 years younger.
Obviously.
But he's, he's trying to enjoy the rest of his life.
Yes.
My point being, you are seeing more and more of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's for good reason. I mean, truly, it is a situation where, do you have this idea of these old couples that are together to the very end and they're, sitting on their rocking chairs, drinking their lemonade, holding hands, and just I don't know that that is super common. And if you have that, fantastic.
Yes.
Like great.
And if you have that, please, great, keep it. Right?
Yeah,
We're not advocating for divorce, but
It's
if
just
you need it.
the fact, like, I think so many people are like, well, but I'm too old for that. You're never too old for anything, ever. No matter what it is, you're not too old for anything. So that mentality of I'm too old for it, these are, quit thinking of them as your gray years. Think of them as your golden years. What are we going to do in our golden years? What do you want to celebrate now that generally the work part's over, the hard part's over, the raising the kids is over. This is the time we're supposed to be enjoying it. And if you're just sitting around bored out of your mind, start a new chapter.
And there are some unique, so to be fair, I mean, some of the things people worry about when they're thinking about getting divorced when they're older are some of the unique kind of challenges associated with more of a later in life divorce. And one is people are worried about their family dynamic. So the adult kids and, how is this going to affect the adult kids? And are they going to be upset with me? And, are they going to hold this against me? And in my experience, the kids have seen it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they feel the stress that you feel. They're not talking to you about it. Right.
Sure. Because they're mom and dad.
Mom and dad. But like, I've seen a lot of older kids like look at their parents and say,
What
oh
are you
my
doing?
gosh, I'm surprised it took you this long. And they're excited for their parents, especially if they see their parents get divorced and then they both end up more happy in new relationships.
Yeah, children want to see their parents happy. Everyone knows the phrase is always, parents just want to see their kids happy. I just want to see my children happy. It's the same in reverse. Children just want to see their parents happy. And so I do think that it's way more, they'll be way more welcoming than a lot of people would think.
I agree. And then another concern would be, how does this affect retirement? And I think what's important for a lot of people to know is, let's say you're the person in the marriage that hasn't really earned as much income as the other party. You're still going to get your fair share of the division of the assets in the divorce, but you're worried about Social Security because your Social Security check is going to be less than your spouse's Social Security check. I think it's very important to know that if you've been married at least 10 years or more, then you actually get a part of the other person's Social Security check. It doesn't take away from what they get.
That's right.
So the higher income earner still gets to keep their full check.
Yep.
But Social Security will actually add money to your check because you're divorced to make up for that difference.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know about you, but how often have you used that to your advantage in a divorce? A scenario where if this was 10 years ago, that guy would have been paying alimony. But now, number one, he's not expected to pay alimony because he's of retirement age. So what the law sort of sees it as is, okay, this couple has amassed what they believed as a joint couple they could live off of in retirement. Or maybe they haven't, but regardless, that was their failure to plan as a couple. So no, the court's not going to say, well, sir, you need to go work until you're 89 so you can make sure you keep paying her alimony. Like, that's another benefit of a golden divorce, is that chances are your earning capacity is either diminished or has been eliminated just by your age. So when you're like, make the argument, hey, she's going to be getting half my Social Security no matter what. So I don't have to pay her alimony. So you're dividing what's already there without dividing those future earnings or future assets. So that's a big component of a gray divorce or a golden divorce that can help you out.
Well said. If you're navigating divorce later in life, you're not alone. Subscribe for support. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. That way you'll be notified of our future episodes. Thanks for hanging with us. We'll see you next time.